What's going on, Mountaineer Nation? Welcome back into the Country Roads webcast here for that recruiting roundup video I promised you guys in the last live stream. The first tier list we did, we're going to have some more of those coming throughout the off season, so tune in for the next one of those live streams that comes up. But before we get to that, there were several WVU football commits that came through. We now know a few of those. I believe there's going to be more coming down the line, even as West Virginia continues to build what's going to be a pretty awesome 2025 recruiting class. At least that's how it's shaping up currently now. 13 commitments that we know of that have come out and made it public. So let's talk about the four most recent additions that West Virginia's added to this class since the last time I've had a chance to do a recruiting update here on the Country Roads webcast. All right, so coming just about a week ago from the time I'm making this video, West Virginia first locked down Elgin Sessions, a safety coming from South Carolina, played some cornerback, played some safety, could play safety WVU, could fit in well as a spear. That's what I kind of could see him transitioning to at the next level. But coming from the state of South Carolina, West Virginia's first commitment from that state. As West Virginia shapes up this 2025 recruiting class, you see some of his ratings here, highly regarded in the state of South Carolina, top 25 player there, 85, 247 Sports, 3-star rating there for Elgin Sessions. And luckily, Elgin Sessions is one of the 3 out of the 4 commitments that West Virginia has that I do have some huddle highlights for. We can take a look at a few seconds of his here. See him highlighted there playing some corner. Like I said, he played some corner and safety. You see they're highlighted in the nickel package as well, which is why I think he could transition well to the spear for West Virginia. You see him there make a great read, jump that route, get a nice interception and a nice run back as well. Here he is again at the cornerback position. This time they're trying to attack him deep and he makes a play on the ball. So you see there 2 different scenarios, one where you had to kind of jump the route. He makes that play, and that one more of a situation where he goes up in a 50-50 ball and gets it. And there you see some of his speed off the edge, the ability to play special teams, getting the block there for Elgin Sessions. Super excited about this guy. Here he is again in coverage, breaking up a potential touchdown. So there's a few highlights of the West Virginia safety, Elgin Sessions, here added to the 2025 class, as we now look ahead to one of 2 defensive linemen that West Virginia added in this upcoming class. And that would be Ramondo Johnson, who is one of 2 defensive linemen that West Virginia added to this 2025 class, as I'll transition to the other one next here. But Ramondo Johnson, more of the edge rusher out of the 2, 6'3", 250-pounder out of the state of Florida, coming from Monarch High School. You see his ratings there, top 60 player in the state of Florida. We know West Virginia likes to get some of that Florida talent, and they've got another highly regarded prospect here, 88 grade there on 247 Sports, 3-star, top 35 edge rusher in the country, and top 50 edge rusher there in the composite rating as well. So another great pickup here for West Virginia. Like I said, the first of 2 defensive linemen that the Mountaineers added in this class. And of course, that second defensive lineman, another big pickup for West Virginia out of the state of Maryland, getting one of the top defensive linemen there in Taylor Brown. Same size here, 6'3", 250, but I believe he'll be more of one of the interior guys for the Mountaineers there in this 2025 class moving forward for West Virginia here in the future. As you can see, their top 20 player in the state of Maryland, 88 grade, 3-star player, even in the composite, a top 30 player in the state of Maryland as well. So very highly regarded. Let's take a look at some of his standout plays there, playing along that defensive line there in Maryland. As you can see, 2-way player in high school, as most are, playing defensive tackle and tight end. Think he could transition to a defensive tackle role at West Virginia as well. There you see him highlighted on this play. The nice run stuff right there from Taylor Brown. I really like what I've seen on tape from this guy. I think that you guys will too. Explosive right there, way to get in the backfield in a hurry. Great first step, and really makes the chance to be a difference maker in the future, I think, for WVU. So really excited about a few of these highlights. Take a look, one more play here, this time against the pass, getting in there, beating his man. Way to get away, fight away, and make the play there. Get the sack in the backfield there as we take a look at Taylor Brown. And then lastly, and most certainly not least, perhaps maybe the most surprising in my eyes, because I know I talked in a recent stream about this guy being crystal balled to Virginia Tech by a couple different sources, but that goes, can't always believe the experts. Sometimes someone can sneak in at the last minute, as it looks like WVU did here with this one, and it's one that I'm really excited about. Coming down the pike today, actually, the day I'm recording this video, West Virginia lands the commitment from Deuce Edwards. Check it out here. He committed live on YouTube in a live stream. So let's take a look at the clip here towards the end as he announces his commitment.
Thank you everybody for coming out. And with that being said, for the next chapter of my life, I'll be attending West Virginia University.
So there we go. Great stuff there, as you see, announcing the commitment to WVU. Super hype about that one. Terrence Deuce Edwards, one of the top players in the state of Virginia, #1 cornerback in the state of Virginia. Most importantly, Terrence Edwards, 6'1", 180. You see here on 247 Sports, 88 overall grade there by 247, 3-star, top 20 player in the state of Virginia, both in the 247 rankings and in the composite rankings as well, where he's ranked as a top 30 athlete in the entire country. So big pickup here for West Virginia as they land him over some big programs. We mentioned, of course, Virginia Tech and Michigan State being the finalists, but Penn State, Maryland, Louisville, Indiana, a ton of other schools were after Deuce Edwards, and West Virginia steals him away from Virginia Tech. They're out of the state of Virginia. West Virginia lands another great player from a borderline state. Let's take a look at a few plays from Deuce Edwards so you guys can see a little bit of what I'm talking about and why I'm excited about this one. All right, so here you are. Deuce Edwards highlighted there. Of course, playing some wide receiver, playing some defensive back. And there he goes, taking off. You see the speed and the athleticism right there, making the grab, first of all, hanging on to that. And then, of course, he's going to take it the distance because that's the type of player we're talking about here with Terrence, better known as Deuce Edwards. Huge steal for West Virginia to get this guy, one of the highly regarded athletes in the state of Virginia. And I think he's going to be a great pickup for the Mountaineers. Most likely going to play defensive back at the next level, but I think he's going to be very talented in doing that. Look at that crisp route, though, at wide receiver, and then a great move, of course, to get into the end zone. Can make you miss in a phone booth with his athleticism. But here's what we want to see. Some highlights of him on the defensive side of the ball. Watch him absolutely read that play, come up and make an absolute lick right there on the ball carrier. Great stuff there from Deuce Edwards. And yet again, here he is stealing the ball away. Just straight stealing it away from the receiver. Right there you see him have great ball skills. We've seen it on offense. Now you see it on defense as well as he takes that one away. Let's take a look here. One more play on the defensive side for Deuce Edwards. You see him here, bottom of the screen. There he is highlighted for us. And here we go one more time. Deuce Edwards, just watch him come up and shed the blocker, deliver another hit. So you've seen him in coverage, you've seen him make tackles, and of course you saw the athleticism with him playing offense as well. Deuce Edwards, a big pickup for this 2025 class, and all of these commitments that I've talked about here, I'm really excited about. So let's take a look at our recruiting tracker here on the CRW. We can add them to our list now as West Virginia's total currently sits now at 13 with these 4 additions. Let's take a look at our total list. All right, and if you've been following along here on the CRW, you're probably familiar with this, but I have videos out on each one of these guys following their commitments. I'll try and put a card for the recruiting playlist right here where you can check out videos on each one of these guys if you'd like to. But of course, we now have our 4 new additions highlighted here at the bottom. Elgin Sessions, Ramondo Johnson, Taylor Brown, and Deuce Edwards. All defensive additions, but all big additions to this 2025 class that continues to shape up to be a really good one as we get, closer and closer to National Signing Day, about halfway home now. West Virginia doing a great job building this class on the way there, and I'm super excited about it. But there you have it, the recruiting roundup as promised. Wanted to talk about some of these verbal commitments that West Virginia has received lately and share my thoughts, but they are just my thoughts. I'd love to hear yours as well. If you have any on West Virginia's class or any of these commitments, throw it there in the comments. Always appreciate those interactions here on the CRW. And if you're a WVU football fan and you haven't already, be sure to subscribe here. I'll continue covering this recruiting class, also providing, depth chart updates, snap counts, all that fun stuff, injury reports. Once the season starts, going to be a ton of content here. The closer and closer we get to football season, it's going to be a lot of fun here on the Country Roads webcast. So if you're a fan of WVU football, be sure subscribe here. And before you head out, just give us a little thumbs up on the video. It helps a ton with that YouTube algorithm. Having said that, as always, I'm Jordan Cruz, and until next time, let's go Mountaineers.